I can't even believe I'm saying pitcher's battle and using the words Patrick Corbin. But can I tell you, Scott, he's a different guy. He's a totally different guy with the Rangers than we've seen.
I say this all the time. Don't worry about the first 5 innings. Don't even watch the first 5 innings in Texas Ranger games. Because for whatever reason, there's a ton of runs scored in the first 5, and then it just stops. It just stops.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
No way that I'm betting on the Cleveland Cavaliers for any reason whatsoever.
No.
Ever. Like, when they had LeBron James, it was a different story. I think Spider's great. He's no LeBron. I don't see him carrying them to a title. And I don't believe in the Knicks at all. The Knicks never get it done.
Ferrall coast to coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course and okay, safe, right?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Taking over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast.
And we are back. Ferrall Coast to Coast, hour number 2 here on SportsGrid and SportsGrid Radio. Carver High and Cam Stewart in for Scotty on the grid. Scotty will be back next week. Of course, the 4th of Ferrall holiday coming up this weekend. Everybody, of course, have a safe, happy, and healthy 4th of July. And make sure to tune into the grid, too, because I know Cam will be on. What time are you on
Tomorrow?
4th of July, Cam? Yeah,
oh, baby. The old 4-hour special. Me and Morency, 8 to 12. Do you like Canadian football? Do you like anything? We'll bet everything. Like Mo Sizlak said on The Simpsons, if it moves Homa, you can bet on it. And we will.
There actually is, Cam. There's a lot of night games in baseball.
You're damn
I know
right
you
there
think
is.
4th of July, day games. There is a few day games, but there is a jam-packed night schedule on a Friday night on 4th of July for the baseball. So you're going to have a lot of baseball games at least, which is a good thing. By the way, just to update you, unfortunately, Sam Ryder's on the storm.
I'm done with him.
bogey.
He's another guy that's going to get it now. I'm going to go Canadian Open. He's on my list. Billy Madison, I just wrote Sam Ryder on my list of people I want to talk to.
Yeah, that's not helpful for us. We need
I'm
a
sorry,
little bit
Carver.
more.
I gave you him. I'll take full responsibility for
I wanted to get
pick.
on board and ride with you, so it's all good, Cam. I mean, it happens. We just want to have fun things here. Bottom 3 in Colorado, 3-2. The Astros lead the Rockies so far. So 5 runs on the board with that. Let me start this hour with this. Did you see this Louis Ortiz thing today with the baseball and the Cleveland Guardians? So Louis Ortiz, Cleveland pitcher, he was he's being investigated for 2 individual pitches. He was placed on the paid leave list by MLB amid a league investigation of gambling activities. Those activities, Cam, were 2 specific pitches from the dates were here. June 15th against the Seattle Mariners and June 27th against the St. Louis Cardinals. These were like micro bets, Cam. You know how like when you go on there, you load up the app and the inning's about to start. Like, will the first pitch be a strike? Will it be a hit? Will it be a ball? So there was allegedly some very unusual activity from Louis Ortiz, or shall we say from the betting sites in a couple different states, about those Louis Ortiz pitches. Now, I watched the clips because obviously now, Cam, they're circulating like all over social media like wildfire of these two instances. And look, they are well outside, low and away sliders that don't even come close to the plate. Now, look, and one of them was like hit the ground before it got to the plate. Who knows, Cam? But if usually, as we've seen with some of these things already, whether it's in the NBA with Porter, the college baseball coach, right?
Yep.
Was that the Alabama guy? When they flag something for suspicious activity, I'm pretty sure, Cam, that most of the time there's been some juice behind it. Like there's been some reasoning behind it. So we got to wait and see what happens here with this Ortiz. He was supposed to pitch tonight. Obviously, he's not going to be pitching tonight for Cleveland. He's out on the paid leave. But it is interesting, Cam. And in this day and age, I said this to Scotty the other day when we talked about the Malik Beasley situation with what happened with him. People like to now say, oh, here we go again. Another instance of the legalized gambling, and this is what's caused all this. And actually, Cam, for me, it's the other side. Once again, they're finding something you would have never found out about if everything was still in the dark and down at the barbershop. They would have never found any of this stuff. So the legalized betting is actually helping them find the Malik Beasleys and potentially, we don't know what the deal is yet with Ortiz, but stuff like this. It's a whole new world, Cam.
You're right. Remember, Gabe and I were talking about that game too, where Beasley, they were down 9, spread was 8.5. Basically goes, dribbles through everybody and like puts it in. He's like, yes. Like, you know what I mean? They have a clip of it. It's like, okay, like you're guilty, bro. Like it's one of those situations you watch. There's no, the NBA, Carver, they dribble everything out in games like that. Yeah. So we get to see it. People are paying more attention to it. And yeah, it exists. But here's another thing there for all the dum-dums out there. Like when there's a guy that's even going to give you a tip for say, they're going to find out. Suspicious activity, they're going to find out. But why the hell are they this many bets on the first pitch of a game or on this prop or on something else, right, Carver? Like, no, they're not idiots. Like, you know what I mean? They look at the ratios and go, what's going on here? Look, we can figure it out.
Throwing, whether the first pitch of the top of the third inning is going to be a ball or a strike, I'm sure there's people who are crazy enough to probably sit there and bet all that stuff every inning and every game. But when the book sees a spike in a market like that, that's not a popular market. You're not talking about, that is not something that's constantly getting bet, those micro bets on the small end. So I'm sure something's going to come out of this game. They obviously know enough to take him off the field and put him on leave. They know enough that he's involved with to do that. So that tells you all you need to know right there. And I'm sure, unfortunately for Louis, time will tell what happens with him, but probably not going to be a good thing. And there goes Zach Johnson missing a par putt to go back down to 2 under. Zach Johnson
I didn't want this frustration before 4th of July. I wanted some fun. But you know what? There's a lot of golf left, Carver, and we still have many horses in this race. All it takes is a birdie train.
There is a lot of golf left. We've seen some guys get hot on their second 9 throughout the day today. So there's a lot of scoreable holes out there at the Tractor Tournament. And anything can happen at any time. All right, before I get to tonight's games, me and Scotty every week go through these. And you're here today, so we will do it. And that's, of course, our weekly check-in with the awards board in Major League Baseball. And, of course, Aaron Judge. Now, I will say this, Cam. This has gotten, I know the number's still ridiculous there in the minus 1450, but it wasn't too long ago that number was minus 5,000, minus 10,000, minus 20,000. It's actually it's getting smaller and smaller because Cal Raleigh has been such a beast over the last few weeks.
But bottom line is this. Judge is the MVP. If you throw to him, he hits it out of the park. You saw exactly, like Cal Raleigh's having a great home run year, but Judge is just simply amazing. He's a beast. He's a man among boys. And then you saw last night, Blue Jays pitcher tries to get cute. That thing is crushed. It almost went like, wait, like, man, this guy's a man beast. So, yeah, no, 1450 is actually I wish it went down because you can just put like a layered parlay together. But in my opinion, he's a lock, Carver.
I think so too. Look, I think the only thing that changes that board is if, of course, he gets hurt. That's the only thing that changes the board is if he gets hurt. And that's all that it is to me. As far as the NL side, it's the same thing. Now, I actually think that you could make cases for other people. I know it's Ohtani and he pitches and he hits, so it is what it is. He's minus 2,100 now at this point. He's got 30 homers, so it's kind of weird for me to say this, Cam, but it doesn't feel like he's having the same kind of year he's had the last few years.
I kind of agree
when
with
he ran
that.
away with it.
Yes.
The numbers say that that's not true, but it doesn't feel the same. Maybe because we're just too accustomed to it now of him having absolutely stupid numbers, but it doesn't feel like he should be the minus 2,100 favorite for the MVP on the first week of July. At least not with the season that he's had. Coast to coast, we're back right after this.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
We are seeing unbelievable temperature surges over the past couple days. So I wanted to ask you this question to let the people know, how do we account for that in our handicapping? Two good pitchers on the mound, but you look at a place like Wrigley Field, let's just say, 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing out, 90-plus degree temperatures. Is it almost like you say to yourself, you just have to fade the environment and not worry about the pitchers because if we're hitting fly balls, they're going yard?
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Their team total is 19.5 wins. I told you to go under, and it's by far the best bet I have recommended on this network in 4 years. They can't get out of their own way. And now Sloot is out for the year. Let's hope Sloot gets back because I respect the hell out of Sloot, and I want her to go out on her own terms. Hopefully we'll have her back for the 26th season.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course and safe, right?
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
Rearranging that rhythm. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
And we are back. Ferrall Coast to Coast here on a Thursday. Carver High and Cam Stewart in for Scotty on SportsGrid and SportsGrid Radio. Great to have you with us. All right, Cam, let me get through the rest of these, and then we'll do tonight's games. Cy Young, AL side, as we hit the 4th of July. Of course, Tarek Skubal is the guy. Minus money for him, too, minus 270. Hunter Brown, Garrett, don't call me Davy Crockett because my name is Crochet. Jacob deGrom, Max Fried. Fried's number is
are fantastic.
Pretty big considering how awesome he's been. That number's pretty out there.
I'm with you.
You could make it.
What about DeGrom and Fried for value picks? Like, Scooble's probably going to get there, but I'm getting DeGrom at 11 and Fried at 21. Sign me up. I'm
Fried
there.
and DeGrom, honestly, have been. Now Hunter Brown has been pretty good.
He has.
He's been really good.
He has.
But I don't think that there should be that much of a gap between Hunter Brown and Max Fried. There shouldn't be that much of a gap. I don't care how many strikeouts that he has. But it's hard with Scooble. A lot of these are tough, Cam, because unless guys get hurt, they're kind of, those three, Judge, Ohtani, and Scooble, unless they get hurt, they're kind of going to run away with it in the second half, just like the three of them did last year, honestly. On the NL side, it's a little bit more open door. Now, Skeens is minus money, but, he's not going to have wins. I guess they don't really care about that anymore in the Cy Young department with some of the guys that have won it over the last 10 or 15 years. But Wheeler's been excellent. Sanchez is there now too, huh? Logan Webb. Some of these guys haven't been great. Logan Webb, he's only good at home. Gore's got a lot of strikeouts, but, his team really sucks. Yamamoto hasn't been that outstanding. It's Skeens and Wheeler, honestly.
They'll give it to Skeens, but I like Wheeler. Like, I love Zach Wheeler. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? But Paul Skeens is like, the next one, the big one. He's been great. Don't get me wrong. The Pittsburgh Pirates are playing good baseball, but Zach Wheeler consistently, he's just, it's those two. Like, you might as well just cross everybody else off the board. Take a shot with Wheeler at plus 150.
Yeah. AL Rookie of the Year. Now, this one's tough, too, because we've had a few guys come up with lots of hype. Some of them haven't been able to keep with it. But this Jacob Wilson's been the one guy who's been really super consistent all year. And that's why not only is he favorite, I mean, he's starting in the All-Star game. And he's voted in as the shortstop off the A's. So that's enough there. Minus 220. Cam Smith. There he is, Nick. Don't call me George Kurtz.
George Kurtz
is in there as well. Roman Anthony, Dominguez. Forget these. Everybody got hot for that Caglianone when he came up with the Royals. Here's the problem, though. Guy's got like 3 hits since he's come up, that Caglianone. Exactly. He's got a heavy bat.
Cam Smith's been good, though,
hits.
Carver. I know you're a Cam Smith guy, not just on the links, but on the beautiful grasses. So, plus 350 looks good. Nick, don't call me George Kurtz has been good at 5. The rest of these guys just cross them off the board. They got no chance.
And as far as the National League side of things, this Mizorowski is already the favorite. He's made 3 starts. Let's try to remember that. Personally, that Agustin Ramirez for the Marlins, that guy, he can rake, man. I actually think, and he's on the Marlins, which is why he's not in the top of the odds board.
Carver, we got to take him. Because Mizorowski, his last start, he actually got hit by the Mets. Remember, just because he came out and had a couple good starts, he's got a long way to go, man. And you're looking at Ramirez at 9-1. This is the board I think we can attack, the NL rookie, because Baldwin and Ramirez actually, I think, could beat Mizorowski.
I actually agree with you. I think Ramirez is going to, if he stays healthy, too, I think he's going to finish with a really good year. He can get 20, 25 homers, I think, by the end of the year, driving a ton of runs and all that, playing catcher. I think that's a guy to keep an eye on if you did want to take a little stab with somebody there down the line. There you go. Weekly look at the awards. Rico Hoey missed that birdie putt, Cam, so he had to settle for par there on that hole. So he's still 5 under. But I don't really know. Is there anyone else even in the Rico Hoey's range right now?
Here we go.
Chris Ventura Golf Detective, 3 under.
Yes. He's 3 under in 6 holes. He's got a par 3. Let's just get away with that. But he has birdie eagle potential to go to 4, and maybe he can do something there. Like 4 or 5 under at the turn, and we still have life. I know we're begging right now, but I think he's the one horse. He attacks par 5s pretty good too. He can hit it big. Just got to get that putter rolling.
This Ventura is our guy, because I don't think we got anybody else. Even this slamming Sammy Valamaki's bogeyed a couple holes
he's
here on the front. He's finished. Our one shot is Chris Ventura, Golf Detective. He's the guy that we need. And I think the pause actually helps it, Cam. Chris Ventura, Golf Detective. It's just got that little dramatic.
You're right. You're right. The space, the dramatic pause.
The space too. Makes it all the better when you're playing these guys. Rico Hoey's through 11 now. How about this Carson Young is 4 under through 10.
I got another guy
Carson
for you.
Young.
I'm going to add him because I'm a
Biashes.
sicko. I'm adding Jackson Koiven. 2 under through like 4 or 5. I need another horse in my barn because right now my barn's burning.
Brian Campbell 3 under through 7.
You know what? Campbell hits it straight. Guy lost in it. Didn't he? Yeah, he won a tournament in the playoff versus Poltergeist.
Yeah, Poltergeist he beat. What's Koivu through? Well, how many holes is he through right now?
I think he's through 4 or 5. He's still got a lot of holes left. He's one of the last groups out there. I have him in a 3-ball.
He must have just. Did he just birdie? Because I still got him at 2 under through 4. He might have.
Yeah,
just
he's 2 under.
5th.
He's 2 under.
Okay,
but I'm going to tell you something. 4. He's got a lot of holes. Say he goes 3, and this guy hits it big. He's a great golfer. You know, he's one. Carver, that's who I am. I'm not going down swinging. Like, I'm dead, and I'm still making bets. Like, anything to hit that button, I'm not giving up. I know the Gim Reaper's running away, but this is what I do in the afternoon. I bet golf.
What are they giving you for this Koivu right now?
If they give me anything over like 40 to 60, I'm in.
100 to 1 for Koivu. 100 to 1.
10 gets me a dime, I'm in.
Yeah, you might as well give it a shot. Well, you'll give it a shot. Let's just, you know what? You throw more logs on the fire, Cam. You just open that thing up and you just keep throwing logs in. Let it burn. Like, keep throwing the logs on the fire. Ferrall coast to coast on a Thursday. Carver High, Cam Stewart for Scotty. We're back after this.
Five-year contract. It's just, I bring it up only because who cares, Scott? It's just mine. Jaren Jackson Jr., good player. Don't get me wrong. $50 million a year. You know, we all bitch and complain about the Juan Soto deals and the Ohtani deals, and you get guys like Jaren Jackson making $50 million a year.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
There's now 7 different directors of analytics for like the Raptors, the Chiefs, where you can see us all like workshopping these ideas in these threads because golf is so ubiquitous amongst gamblers. And so that was like the most popular non-poker forum was the golf sub-forum. And then once we started thinking about once I realized in 2013 that Brody's book was coming out, I just thought stroke chain putting was it.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
Saying I like their odds because I think they're insane at this point, but I do think they are a very viable option.
I don't even think their odds are that insane. Honestly, they won 64 games.
So you like this move for them?
Well, so the odds,
regardless of the odds, just from a basketball.
Yeah, the odds have nothing to do with it. They won 64 games. They were eliminated by the Pacers, who lost Halliburton. The other 60-win team was the Celtics, and they lost Tatum. Like I think,
and the Knicks don't have a coach.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
You want to take that gap year and trade LeBron James somewhere and get value, legitimate value for a 41-year-old player, LeBron James, I still think, in return. I think you have to explore that because if LeBron wants to win a title, we've heard so much buzz for, I think, 3 or 4 years now, Kevin, about Stephen Curry and LeBron James wanting to eventually play together. This might be that moment here. If you're the Golden State Warriors, why not make that call? I think that's something to watch out for.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
And we're back. Carver and Lisi, SportsGrid. I mean, geez, how about that? Now, I haven't done that.
I love that.
Now, I will tell you. I haven't done that one on this show in probably years. So that's a rare thing that happens, right? Because that's obviously the night show.
I don't mind being Diamond Joe Lisi.
And just
Carver.
And that's usually when I'm leading the show, that's normally what I'm doing. I'm doing Carver and Lee's. So
yeah,
coast to coast on a Thursday, that's $1 in the jar from me. Rare slip. Carver High and Cam Stewart in for Scotty on SportsGrid and SportsGrid Radio. I think the reason why I got so taken back, Cam, is because you told me about this Dr. Rosenmuller from Germany. This Thomas Rosenmuller, who's 3 under through 5, but he's got a 5-footer, which maybe he hit already, to get to 4 under through 6.
He's
4
the
under
second
through
betting
6.
favorite. This is the end of round board right now. The Gim Reaper, Dougie Gim, is minus 800. Dr. Rosenmuller is 40. And Chris Ventura, golf detective, is 50-1. He's in the 3-hole with Hoey.
John Pack.
Oh, my God, the Rockies just took the lead. Yay,
John
Colorado. There we go. 5-3
Pac-Man.
Rockies. Yeah, Pac-Man.
John Pack.
Waka, 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 waka.
Is in there.
Go Pac-Man.
Well, we can't back this Dr. Rosen, right?
No, I got enough. Carver, I ran out of bullets and went to the store to get more bullets. Like, I got too much ammunition out here. Like, I'm done. Like, there's, like, the guy's minus 800 to be the end of the round leader. Like, we need a bloody miracle.
Your boy Ryan Ritter, no relation to John.
Wow.
Ritter with the RBI 2-run single, 5-3 Rockies. Bottom of the fourth. Bottom of the fourth there.
Today.
So 5-3, and they are grooving. Let's start tonight's games, and we'll probably finish them after me and George take some lashes at the Yankees in the next segment. Why don't we start in D.C.? Tigers and the Nationals tonight. Jake Irvin stinks going for Washington. Dietrich Enns is going for the Tigers. Who I believe, Cam, this is his second start. He went 5 innings against the A's last week. This is the guy that was gone for a few years and now is back in the game. Minus 150 for Detroit, plus $1.25 for the Nats, and a very large gas canish 9.5 flammable tonight in D.C.
Could we get there, Carver? I'm not sure. That line's a little bit light, too, for the Tigers, too. No, I'm with you. I see the Nationals raked last night for Mackenzie Gore. They put up a 9 spot. You know what? I'm kind of like the over in this game. Tigers get to Irvin, and I think they can hit Ennis. So, like, I think we can definitely get over the number. That's the play. And that Tigers line feels mysteriously short. I thought they'd be bigger favorites.
3 birdies in a row for Brandt Snedeker. He's 4 under through 9. Brandt Snedeker entering the
Brad Snedeker, I had him to win the Masters at 275-1 when I interviewed him, and he finished 3rd that year, and I almost lost my mind. He was leading heading down the stretch, and Trevor Immelman had to ruin my party. I was going to win like $10,000. Anyway,
and now every Sunday when you watch the golf and it's on CBS, you get reminded of it because you have to hear Jim Nantz go, and I'm here with Masters champion Trevor Immelman.
Exactly.
Every single week when he comes on the broadcast.
I almost want to mute that part every damn day. It drives me nuts.
It's a reminder of that loss.
But yes.
Yeah, but he's
and
still
I had him
from
at
Brandt Snedeker.
Carver. It might have even been like 375-1. People in the golf world were like, who the hell is Brandt Snedeker and how did he get to the Masters? But that was the year he shot a 60. I followed him, and he was the only guy who gave me a one-on-one. Nicest guy at the tournament, and I had good karma the whole way through. Till the final few holes where that South African broadcaster took me down. Trevor Immelman. Nice guy, though.
Bermuda Ben Griffin off to a bit of a slow start. I mean, he's only 1 under through 9.
I know.
1 under through 9 at this tournament, Cam, isn't that great? Like, that's not...
You're losing ground.
You're losing ground if you're 1 under through 9. You got to have a little bit more than that. We'll do the rest of the games after I talk to George, including, of course, the Yankees and the Blue Jays, who will finish off a 4-game series tonight. And the Jays looking for the sweep. The brooms are out and taking over sole possession of first place in the AL East heading into the 4th of July. So we'll talk to George, and then me and Cam will finish the rest of tonight's games. And don't worry, Cam, remember, CFL pick later, hot dog stuff as well.
Oh, I can't wait.
For tomorrow in Coney Island. We've got it all for you, coast to coast, on a Thursday. We're back after this.
Lonzo Ball, I guess, Chicago, they've just, kind of had enough here. Traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. What do you make of him being healthy? You think there's a chance? I mean, that's kind of the key.
What you said with all these guys re-signing kind of speaks to the landscape of free agents this year. Most of the guys, there isn't that much money out there to be had. I think the Nets are the only team that actually have cap space and can sign anybody outright.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
You got swept by the Marlins. You got some issues here. They're struggling. Arizona having their issues as well here. What I want to see here is Arizona take the lead. All right, and then let's attack the Diamondbacks bullpen. That bullpen is horrific. It's a dumpster fire. All right, that bullpen is that bad. Hit it a couple times over the weekend. Once they're up, hit the bullpen. That bullpen's going to blow the game. That's a great in-game bet for the against the Diamondbacks.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I will keel over if they trade LeBron James to anyone. He is not leaving Los Angeles with all of his entertainment company, production studios, movies, TV shows, podcasts, everything that he does. This guy is stuck there like glue for the rest of his life. He's not leaving Los Angeles even when he's done playing.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Incredible run here for Suarez, but realistically speaking, Corbin Burns out. Corbin Carroll is out right now. This is not a contending team, especially in that division where you've got the Dodgers and the Padres and the Giants. It's just too much to bear. The Diamondbacks would be smart to let Jordan Lawler play every day, see what he is, and then probably move on from Suarez.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
And we are back, Ferrall, coast to coast here on a Thursday. Carver High in for Scotty on SportsGrid and SportsGrid Radio. Great to have everybody with us. Always good to have George Kurtz with us, of course, here on Coast to Coast as we get ready tonight. What could be a big night in Toronto for Blue Jay fans as the Jays are looking for the 4-game sweep of the Yankees with the Basset Hound on the mound. Clark Schmidt will try to stop what's been I guess you could say, George, a very ugly week up in Toronto for the Yankees on several fronts.
Oh, you can go on and on about this, right? Mike, when I knew I was coming on, I was all right, I'm going to be a calm Yankee fan. And then I see the lineup maybe got posted a half hour ago. I'm like, oh, here we go again. All right, Jazz is still at third base. They got Peraza playing second. It should be reversed here. I mean, it just infuriates. That Cashman just lies to us, right? He just lies to us over and over again. He said during the offseason he wants the Yankees to be a more athletic team, better with the fundamentals. Part of the reason why they didn't want Torres back because he made a lot of brain-dead plays, right? And yet the analytics tell you over and over again. I think Chris Kirshner of The Athletic posted a column on this, that they are a much better – I mean, it's not even close. They are a much better team with Jazz Chisholm playing second base and anybody playing third. Doesn't matter who, because they're all terrible. All right, Peraza, LeMahieu, you want to bring back A-Rod, Nettles, whoever, would be better than what they're doing right now here. But they don't want to admit that LeMahieu is a sunk cost, right? They want to put him in the lineup, which is a joke. He's got as much range as a Daisy air rifle. He can't move. He can't throw. He may give you the best average of the players you have playing there, but it's a soft average. They're all singles, right? And every now and then he'll hit you a double. He can't run. He's not going to steal any bases here. So it's just infuriating that they won't admit that this is not how it works. And it's not like they didn't know this, by the way. Remember, during the offseason, they wanted to get Arenado. They tried very hard to get Arenado, but they didn't want to pay the freight, which I don't blame them, by the way, because St. Louis wanted to take on the full contract and add valuable pieces there. And Arenado's is not worth that right now here. So just infuriating. I said I was in a decent mood here. And then, I was just like, you see him doing he keeps trying to bang that square peg into a round hole over and over and over again until the damn toy is broken. All right. And by the way, does Judge see a pitch to hit tonight, or is Schneider going to walk a wall 4 times?
The Blue Jays, George, are one of the teams that has actually caught on to this. Now, if you like playing judge props, you got to start being careful here, especially against certain teams. Now, last night, it was a spot where you really couldn't walk him. There was a man on first. It's a 2-run game. You don't want to put the tying run on first. You probably shouldn't have thrown him one right down the middle, but you got to kind of pitch to him there. But the Blue Jays, the Angels, there's a bunch of teams now around the league, George, that have basically decided, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. We're just not going to pitch to him in any of these spots. And it hurts from that fantasy/prop betting perspective because you got to start realizing who is going to intentionally walk Judge all the time and who's not.
It takes some stones, all right? Because Schneider did walk Judge a couple of times in this series where he's like, ooh, with nobody on base, he did it. And he did do it with somebody on first base. I think it was Bellinger was on first. He walked him anyway here. And I think he would have walked him last night. The only reason why he didn't is that Judge's career numbers against Yimi Garcia were 3 for 12, no home runs, no extra base hits. So I think he kind of liked the matchup there in some ways, even though that's an incredibly small sample size. For all we know, those 9 outs were bullets hit right at the left fielder, right? We don't know what those were here. So he paid the price there last night. Like I said, I think Schneider, you mentioned Ron Washington was the Angels manager, best of his health there. But here's another guy that I did think they think anybody but Judge. Bellinger beats me, fine. Bellinger beat me. What am I going to do? Austin Wells, whoever's going to bat fourth, third, whatever. Goldschmidt, they beat me, fine, but it's not going to be Aaron Judge. And I think after that home run he hit last night, which I think is still traveling there in Toronto, that's what he's going to do tonight. I'm not so sure Judge has an official at-bat tonight.
It wouldn't stun me. It really wouldn't. And he's hit Bassett, as you said. He's got some pretty decent numbers off of him. The thing for me, George, is this. And this has bothered us with the Yankees for the last few years. They talk about not wanting to spend to a certain level. And I understand they went and they took all the Soto money and Bellinger and Goldschmidt and Max Fried and they did all that. They can't find a couple of quarters under the couch to go get a real legitimate major league third baseman. Like they can't, and I understand we're still a few weeks out here, and because of 3 wild cards now, there's so many more teams that are involved, and teams are probably reluctant to completely sell. But I mean, there's got to be some guys out there, George. And I know I've said McMahon from Colorado. People don't like that because listen, he's not great, but he's better than the hacks that they have. If Arizona ever fell out of it, Eugenio Suarez at third base is having an amazing year, and he's a right-handed bat, which they could use. I mean, they can't find a couple quarters under the couch and add some salary and put a real legitimate third baseman there?
Well, the big difference is, Hal and George, right? They're completely different. George Steinbrenner, the boss, would have done anything, right? We'd already have a third baseman. Maybe that'd be a very good one, and we may have sold half the farm system, but there already be a third baseman there. We know that. Hal wants to win, but he won't do everything it takes to win. All right, he wants to make money here. I think most of us saw that column that was once again in the Athletic. The Yankees, they make pretty much the most money in baseball, and they spend the most money, but it's only about half their profits. All right, there are some teams that spend a lot more than half their profits on the team here. The Yankees don't do that. Do I think they'll go out and get somebody? Yeah, I do. You mentioned Ryan McMahon, who I understand he's got some contract left and probably is overpaid at this point, but I think they'll talk to him. Suarez is an option here. I know this would never happen, Mike, but the team you have to talk to is the Mets. They've got like 3 of them, and they need to move on from these guys. Right? I would kill for Brett Beatty in Yankee Stadium, take a shot at that. Vientos, Mauricio, but it'll never happen. The Mets will never trade what was once a top prospect to the Yankees. They wouldn't take that chance that the guy would flourish here, and then they'd have to eat it. But if there was ever a deal to be made, I would love to see one of those guys come to the Yankees. There's a couple other third basemen that are out there as well. As you said, there's nobody that's going to make, Yankees are a World Series contender now because they got this guy. But they'll be a better team with just about anyone coming back.
Yeah, like you said, you got to stop trying to put the square pegs in the round hole. And speaking of the Mets, they play the Mets this weekend for 3 games, which is you turn around off of potentially whatever happens tonight, losing the AL East lead. And listen, the Mets have their own problems too going into this series. But at least if they ever won tonight, they'd have a couple wins in a row going into it. And I know you've probably looked at this already, George. Some of these pitching matchups for these Met-Yankee games this weekend, you got a chance for, and I know they're not at the stadium, they're at Citi Field, so a little bit different in terms of maybe how the ball will fly out of the ballpark, but you have got some real gas can matchups. I mean, Stroman, I believe, is pitching the Friday game. Who's Stroman pitching against on Friday? Is that the Montas game? Oh, that's the Blackburn game. Stroman and Blackburn.
Blackburn went on the IL
Friday.
today.
Oh, did he? Well, he still got him listed. Okay, so they're putting him on. Well, that means the Mets are going to be basically pulling a name out of a hat tomorrow to pitch against the Yankees. Montas pitching on Saturday against Rodon, who, as good as he's been, I still don't trust him as far as I can throw him. But you got a chance for at least the first couple games here, George, to have a lot of runs.
And then you got Max Fried going Sunday for the Yankees, too. And that's another game, by the way, is TBD, right? The Mets don't know who's pitching Sunday either because it was supposed to be Clayton Holmes, but the rain out pushed him back. Right? Because he pitched yesterday, so he's not pitching. Theoretically, this could be a good weekend for the Yankees. Theoretically. All right, but the way they're playing right now, I certainly wouldn't be betting on them. Probably will take some overs this weekend, but it'd be hard for me to bet on the Yankees to win here. I did Game Live with Brady Cannon last Saturday night, and I said by the All-Star break, the Yankees wouldn't be in first place because they were playing the Blue Jays, then the Mets, then Seattle, and the Cubs. It was going to be a tough road to hoe no matter how you looked at it. And I still stand by that. Unfortunately, it's going to be by Friday. They might be in third place, forget first.
It certainly is true. George, tremendous job, as always. Enjoy all the festivities. Will anyone beat your boy Chestnut and the hot dogs, George? Yes or no? No,
he wins. Gross.
He wins again.
Lonzo Ball, I guess, Chicago, they've just, kind of had enough here. Traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. What do you make of them being healthy? You think there's a chance? I mean, that's kind of the key.
What you said with all these guys re-signing kind of speaks to the landscape of free agents this year. Most of the guys, there isn't that much money out there to be had. I think the Nets are the only team that actually have cap space and can sign anybody outright.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
You got swept by the Marlins. You got some issues here. They're struggling. Arizona having their issues as well here. What I want to see here is Arizona take the lead. All right, and then let's attack the Diamondbacks bullpen. That bullpen is horrific. It's a dumpster fire. All right, that bullpen is that bad. Hit it a couple times over the weekend. Once they're up, hit the bullpen. That bullpen's going to blow the game. That's a great in-game bet for the against the Diamondbacks.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I will keel over if they trade LeBron James to anyone. He is not leaving Los Angeles with all of his entertainment company, production studios, movies, TV shows, podcasts, everything that he does. This guy is stuck there like glue for the rest of his life. He's not leaving Los Angeles even when he's done playing.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Incredible run here for Suarez, but realistically speaking, Corbin Burns out. Corbin Carroll is out right now. This is not a contending team, especially in that division where you've got the Dodgers and the Padres and the Giants. It's just too much to bear. The Diamondbacks would be smart to let Jordan Lawler play every day, see what he is, and then probably move on from Suarez.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
And we are back. Ferrall Coast to Coast here on a Thursday. Carver High and Cam Stewart in for Scotty on SportsGrid and SportsGrid Radio. Great to have everybody with us. I didn't ask. We've been so busy with the golf, Cam.
Yeah.
You get involved with the tennis again today? Were you in on the tennis over at Wimbledon?
Remember they were going to cancel my bet? I opened up my account. I thought I had $100, and I woke up there was $762 because Struff beat Felix, my guy won. I thought they were going to void the bet, but they restarted it and he got it done. So I was like, amazing. But I've been kind of just dipping my toe today, Carver. Unless I see something really, really good, it's hard. But I'm going to tell you, for everybody betting tennis right now, this live betting is awesome. You either take, like, when the favorite goes down a little bit, you get the better number, but dogs, and more dogs. Just keep on betting underdogs until you get to Sinner on the men's side and Sabalenka on the women's side. Because a lot of these people that are favored, like minus 400, 500, like, I don't know. It's the year of the underdog and young players, Carver. They really step up at Wimbledon with the grass.
They really have been. It's amazing what's going on out there. Lots of upsets, lots of potential.
Awesome.
As far as the golf, still the closest guys on the course are Rico Hoey and Carson Young, who are both 5 under right now. Those are the only 5s I see. We do have some 4s with Snedeker and Campbell and Viajes. But other than that, Cam, we lost a few of our guys. Here comes Lanto Griffin with a couple of birdies to get to 3 under. Chris Ventura, golf detective, is at 3 under. As he's hitting a par 5 now, isn't he? Our boy Chris Ventura. I
don't want to say anything to you, Carver, because he's missed a couple short putts that have put me in orbit right now. But he's basically 9 yards away. He's got to get up and down. So he's got a 2-footer for birdie now. If he can't hit this putt, then I'm going to have to sign off.
Yeah, because
Frank's taking my place. Yeah,
I have him as a 28-footer for eagle on his third shot. So I guess he missed a 28-footer for eagle, and he's just going to hopefully tap in.
2-footer left.
And get to 4. So, you know what? He's still holding out hope, at least. At least we still got a shot with him at some point.
If he can find a way to birdie the next hole and go to the turn at 5 and play the other side at 4, we'll saw it off. We're not asking too much. Just tie for the lead and give us a little bit of breath.
I'll take 9. I will sign up for 9, especially with the ticket. He's one of the bigger tickets I got from yesterday. Was Ace Ventura. All right, let's go to the rest of the baseball tonight. Me and George were just talking about it. Yankees and Blue Jays, final game of a 4-game set. Jays looking for the sweep and to take over sole possession of first place in the AL East. It'll be the Bassett Hound against Clark Schmidt. Yankees minus 130. Jays dogs at home again, plus 110 and an 8.5.
No respect. The thing is, the Yankees are going to be really, really angry. And if they get swept, what a different taste it'll be coming back home to play the Mets in the Subway Series. So it's a big deal tonight for them. But I know George, I think he liked the over in that game too. Every game has gone over. And why wouldn't it be more of the same, right, Carver? Like, the thing is, even if you're feeling it under, it's hard to bet it with these guys. The Yanks will hit Bassett a little bit. The Jays will hit Schmidt, and we'll see what happens. But I think we can get there. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to take the Jays as a dog. You want to give me them as a home dog every single night? I'll take it. It's that simple. Ride the streak.
I could absolutely see the Jays winning again tonight. I don't, like you say, the Yankees they're gonna go in there and lose all 4 games in this series. Like, they don't got somebody in that room to step up tonight. Now, I agree with George on this. Judge might not see many pitches tonight, so somebody else is probably going to have to beat them, whether that's Bellinger, Rice-A-Roni, etc. Somebody else is going to have to step up and get a big hit. But I'm going to probably be shying away. You know who I might go to again tonight, Cam? Oh. He's not on my list when I give it out in a little bit, but I might find a way to work Barger into the program again tonight for the home run.
Barger sees
find
it,
a way.
That thing is Barger. Oh, he's a great player.
And Springer's pretty hot right now too, as well. Springer's been smashing the ball also. The Mets, of course, trying to get off the deck. Now, they split the doubleheader yesterday. They'll finish their series with Milwaukee. David Peterson for New York on the Mets last year. Jose Quintana faces them tonight, this time with Milwaukee. Minus 160 for the Mets, plus $1.35 for the Brewers, and an 8.5.
Okay, here's the deal. I get it. The Mets are at home. 60 cents. On one of my books, they're 65. Like, what are we doing here? It's Brewers or nothing for me, Carver. Like, that is a bad number. You know, Peterson's been decent. Quintana's been good. So, like, what's the problem? I just think that number's out of whack. Like, Milwaukee could be a nice little pooch at plus 145 on one of my books.
Angels and the Braves again in Atlanta. Jose Soriano and Bryce Elder going tonight. Minus 155 for the Braves, plus $1.30 for the Angels, and a 9.5.
Is this gas can alert? Do you see runs here? Elder's almost got a 6 ERA. Soriano's he can be hot, more cold. He's actually not too bad. He's middling, but I'll tell you, man, I think we get runs in this game. Braves kind of picked it up the other night. Carver, let's climb the tree with the over. Let's do it.
You know, Soriano's been pretty good his last few starts for the Angels. But I actually think the Angels, they've got some mashers on that team. And this guy, Elder, he throws meatballs. So I actually like a lot of the Angel guys tonight, Cam. I think that we can get over this number based solely on the fact that the Angels are going to give us a lot of gas with Trout and Ward and Soler and Adele and all those guys. So
Look
give
at
me
all
the
these
over.
good dogs tonight. Like, I know I like the over, and like the Angels are getting plus 135. Like, that's like, I'm not laying that with the Braves. So yeah, I think they're very live tonight with the over.
Cleveland will finish off their series in Wrigley against the Cubbies. Joey Cantillo will now start since Louis Ortiz is chopped. And your boy Cade Horton, here's a who, is going to go for the Cubbies. Minus 145 for Chicago, plus 120 for Cleveland, and an 8.5.
What do you think about this one? Are the Guardians due?
I kind of like the up, and away again. Now, the wind's coming in tonight a little bit more than last night. But honestly, now the Cleveland hit a bunch of homers last night. The Cubbies didn't. I think we can get there even without potentially a bunch of long balls. I think that we could find our way with some runs this evening. Why not?
Yeah, just slap some singles. Just keep the line moving. Singles and doubles, baby. Let's go. We hit it last night.
There is one guy I like for a homer in this game, and I'll give that out in a little bit. Ferrall Coast to Coast on a Thursday. We're back after this.
Lonzo Ball, I guess, Chicago, they've just, kind of had enough here. Traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. What do you make of them being healthy? You think there's a chance? I mean, that's kind of the key.
What you said with all these guys re-signing kind of speaks to the landscape of free agents this year. Most of the guys, there isn't that much money out there to be had. I think the Nets are the only team that actually have cap space and can sign anybody outright.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
You got swept by the Marlins. You got some issues here. They're struggling. Arizona having their issues as well here. What I want to see here is Arizona take the lead. All right, and then let's attack the Diamondbacks bullpen. That bullpen is horrific. It's a dumpster fire. All right, that bullpen is that bad. Hit it a couple times over the weekend. Once they're up, hit the bullpen. The bullpen's going to blow the game. That's a great in-game bet for the against the Diamondbacks.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I will keel over if they trade LeBron James to anyone. He is not leaving Los Angeles with all of his entertainment company, production studios, movies, TV shows, podcasts, everything that he does. This guy is stuck there like glue for the rest of his life. He's not leaving Los Angeles even when he's done playing.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Incredible run here for Suarez, but realistically speaking, Corbin Burns out. Corbin Carroll is out right now. This is not a contending team, especially in that division where you've got the Dodgers and the Padres and the Giants. It's just too much to bear. The Diamondbacks would be smart to let Jordan Lawler play every day, see what he is, and then probably move on from Suarez.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
And we are back. Ferrall Coast to Coast here on a Thursday. Carver High and Cam Stewart in for Scotty on SportsGrid and SportsGrid Radio. Great to have everybody with us here tonight. All right, Cam, let's finish this off. We've got a few more late night games in baseball. The three games on the left coast. We'll start in Arizona. Also the end of a 4-game series between the D-backs and the Giants. Diamondbacks have won 2 of the first 3, but tonight they'll have to face Robbie Ray, who, of course, has had a very good year. Brandon Pfaadt goes for Arizona. He stinks. Giants minus 120, Snakes even money, and an 8.5.
Yeah, I lean Giants in this spot tonight, too. Arizona was good to me. They were down in that game. They came back, but they lost in extra innings. So the plus 1.5 came in. We'll see what's happening, but I got to take Robbie Ray in this spot. You're right, Pfaadt blows. I think this guy's ERA is horrible. But you said it, though. Robbie Ray better at home, but I'll still take a shot with the Giants tonight. Low price.
Now, Ray has cooled off a little bit his last 3 or 4 starts. You know, he had that stretch in May where he was basically unhittable. But he let a little bit more go in June. There's a few guys on the Diamondbacks with some pretty good numbers against him, but I really don't like to go against him. And I know that Pfaadt is such a gas can that maybe it's probably over. Giants for me. And maybe the over. It's possible. Why not? We could get there. Elsewhere tonight, Dodgers and the White Sox again at Chavez Ravine. And I told you earlier, Aaron Savali's going for the White Sox. Ooh, look out. Dustin May for the Dodgers. Honestly, he ain't been that great either. Minus 310 for LA, plus 250 for the White Sox. 9.5. I know that Cam loves pooches. They were close last night. Gave it up in the 9th. Am I smelling a pooch again here for Cam tonight? Nope.
No, you're not smelling a pooch. Nope. That's just bad odors. I got to tell you something. Yeah, the dog, I gave him a bath. My dog is Colorado today, and I got to be more like, I got to tell you, Carver, the way the White Sox lost that game last night, that's demoralizing. I know Carrot Top hasn't been like perfect, but I'll tell you, you said it. Savali's the ultimate flammable pitcher. I see like the Dodgers might cover the total themselves. I see the Dodgers kicking the crap out of them tonight. I'll pick my dogs carefully, and the White Sox don't make the bill.
And finally, the Royals and the Mariners also finishing off. We had a lot of 4-game series this week. Mariners have won 2 of the first 3. Seth Lugo and Brian Wu going tonight. Minus 125 for the Mariners, plus 105 for the Royals, and a 7.5.
What do you think about this one, Carver? A lot of people remember we talked about that over at 6.5, but hey, it stayed under last night. Good pitchers duel with Cameron. And who was pitching for the Mariners last night? You know who was it? What am I forgetting? Anyway, bottom line is this.
Wasn't it What's Eating Gilbert Grape
What's Eating Gilbert Grape, exactly. Yeah. 3-2 final. Seattle's finding ways to grind out wins right now, but I don't know. I'm going to look at the Royals long and hard tonight.
Yeah, it's probably Royals for me. I'm not laying with Seattle.
No way.
I always like going after those 7.5s on the West Coast, but I don't even know if I want to do that either this evening game. Cam, if anything, that's not my late night game of choosing. I think Giants Diamondbacks would be more up my alley than the Royals and the Mariners are going to be. All right, how about some long balls for tonight? As we're going to try to stay hot here with some taters. I told you earlier, Cam, I want to go after this Bryce Elder for the Braves. And I think that Taylor Ward is the right guy to go after him with, especially at a good price. Plus 400 for Taylor Ward tonight. Usually beats up on some mediocre pitching like Elder, so we'll take him tonight at Truist. Now, I want to go after Savale, too. Here's the problem. All the really big home run hitters on the Dodgers, they're like plus 280, plus 310. Nice price for Mookie. I know he hasn't been hitting as many long balls here this year. Plus 420, though. I'll take my shot with Mookie Betts tonight. Said the wind's blowing in a little bit at Wrigley. All right, I ain't scared. Jose Ramirez hitting from the left side against Horton Hears a Who at plus 470. I will take a shot. At least a couple balls could maybe get out of Wrigley tonight. We'll go with Ramirez. Willie Adames crushes Brandon Pfaadt. Let's do it, baby. Plus 500. And how about this Wenzel Perez for the Tigers tonight against Jake Irvin? Plus 520? Let's go. This guy, when he gets a hold of him, Cam, they go. Irvin throws him right down the middle. Let's do it. Plus 520 for Perez. Ward, Betts, J-Ram, Adames, and Perez tonight for the long ball.
Love it, Carver. And I'm going to tell you guys, Carver hit the both at the bottom, the biggest odds last night. So
yeah, Barger and Marte last night. Yep. Barger and Marte, guys. And, of course, there'll always be some add-ons on Carver and Lisi. There's usually some home run add-ons once that show begins. Coast to Coast, Hour 3 next.